How's it going, YouTube? This is Zeke from Coyotemon Plays, and today we have a match between Machinedramon on the left and GrandisKuwagamon on the right. This is my updated list. I added a few things for the tournament, mainly just the option ratios, added in some Congos. So we'll see Grandis start out by hatching Yoko. No rookie in sight, so we're going to see the Weedmon come out. Machinedramon answers with hatching a Gigi and playing out a Guardramon for blocker. We see the Weedmon digivolved into the Okuamon. And then we're just going to see it de-digivolved back and popped with the Metal Greymon effect. We see Lalamon digivolved in the back into a Kabuterimon for 1, and back into an Okuamon in the back. That's always been something scary about green, is just how cheaply they're able to go up their evolution lines. But we see Hagurumon played, choking to 1, pitching a Cyborg to draw 2. We see the Akua X in hand. Green Memory Boost is going to be played. Grabs a rookie. Over to Machinedramon. Gonna see a swing in, trashing a Cyborg to draw 2 with the Guardramon effect. Hits into an Okuamon and lives. Digivolving Keelmon in the back. And then into a Monochromon to set up a blocker. Even though against Grandis, blocking doesn't necessarily help. So we'll see some search getting off, grabbing a Machinedramon and trashing everything else. I think Grandis is still missing a couple of pieces. I've never really been able to get behind the Grandis deck. For BT09 meta, I've been primarily playing WereGarurumon X. It just seems a lot more consistent to me. Green needs every single piece, whereas you just need a few pieces in your line from Garuru to make it work. As long as you have the Garuru X, you're able to clear out 2 different level 4s. It doesn't necessarily have to be your Garurus. So we'll see Guilmon promoted, swing in, draw 2. Saw a bunch of rookies come down on the Grandis side. Guilmon's forever dying for that draw. Swing in with a Metal Gray. Pitching to draw 2. Swinging in with Andromon. Hitting non-stop rookies in security, it seems. But will Grandis be able to finally get the chain he needs to close out the game? We'll see Chaosdramon digivolved. Can tuck a source at the top in order to destroy all 6k or less on the field. Right now with 3 sources, that'll be destroying 3 6k or less Digimon. So it'll pop both. Sadly, this is the BT7 Chaosdramon, so it does not have protection from anything in this state. We see finally come out of raising into the Okuamon X. He's not able to do any of the memory shenanigans because both of the Digimon are currently suspended. Usually when fighting against Grandis, if I know they're going to try to kill me, I just go ahead and suspend everything anyway. We see the GrandisKuwaga come down after he attaches the X antibody option. I do know that I was speaking to him beforehand, the X antibodies weren't supposed to be in there, it was supposed to be Electroshocker. It was just a last minute thing that they added into the deck before the tournament. So we see 2 sources stripped, adding to hand, plus 2k, 2 more sources stripped, so that's plus 3 security. No blockers. Digivolve into Grandis for 1. But as we mentioned at this point, if you had any blockers, they would just be suspended anyway. So he's going to swing over the Chaosdramon, performing 3 checks. It's just big enough to get over the Death X there. Fireball to draw 2 cards, and he will get the restand. Swings in, hits a hero and a second hero. And he did swing over. So cleared out the field, cleared out the security. Now all he has to do is close out the game. And with a rookie dropped there, we'll be able to clear out one but not the other. So if I remember correctly, this is just going to be a concede after looking at the hand here. And that'll be it. Moving on to game 2. Grandis 1-0. Grandis will start us off with Yokomon and a Mimi. Looks like they're starving for rookies in the beginning again. See Guilmon hatched. And a Fireball played. No targets to destroy, so draw 2. Picked up the Hagurumon for 3. Pitch 1, draw 2 more. So that's already 5 draws within the first turn. We see Palmon Digivolved in the back. Is set to 3 for the Mimi. Just hard drops in Okuamon. Apparently they are really hurting. We've all been there though. Trying to find your way out of a brick, sometimes just have to slam something down there. See Guilmon swinging in, drawing 2, forever dying for the draws. And just a hero placed down. And then a Kazu. If I remember correctly in game 1, it was tough to actually slam down the Machinedramon with the black option because there was no black sources on the board. So we see Weedmon promoted, Mimi hatching another egg, swing in a check, hits another hero, Digivolves into Okua to pass the turn. Hatch. If I remember correctly, there was a couple of times where I missed the Kazu memory gain. So swing, draw and discard for the Kazu. If I remember correctly, I did miss it, but we correct it whenever I actually go to try to play something. So Hagurumon died from the check. Most of us are still back to playing more casually after the San Diego Regionals. I know my friend Steve said he's not wanting to touch the Metal Garurumon deck for a while. But we're going to see Death X hardcast all the way up to 8. It will de-digivolve and pop the Weedmon, but the Okuamon is still there. Trying to make sure if they do have a level 5, they're not going to have nearly as many Digiburst targets. Goes into the Okua X, which will suspend the Death X and gain yet another memory. Looks like he's still missing out on some of the top end, so he's going to try to dig for it. Digivolve into the Metal Kabuterimon over Mimi. He does have another Mimi he could play out, it looks like. Oh, so he opts to go straight into the Grandis because he does not have the GrandisKuwaga. He's going to swing. And he does have piercing, so we get the fireball off. And actually I think this is a misplay. I don't remember if he gets the restand if he's not over the Grand. But the Metal Kabuterimon swings in and dies to a Metal Greymon. Mimi is played. Memory is set to 3. We see Attack of the Heavy Mobile Digimon come down. Pitching a Cyborg. And there comes the giant Machinedramon. All the way up to 9 memory. Looks like he's got Reboot, Piercing, can attack unsuspended, Security attack +1. Not quite sure what the last one is. But swinging in, suspending both of the heroes to actually clear it out. And then drawing one and discarding one off of the Kazu effect. And it has Reboot, but I don't believe it has Blocker. If I remember correctly, like, I could never find my Andromons tonight. It was really weird. Most of my stacks actually had Reboot, but I think I only got Blocker once. See, Weedmon Digivolved in the back. And then Kuwagamon X played out. Digivolving into the Kabuterimon to pass turn. He does have a blocker, but I'm gonna swing directly into it because we do have piercing. Draw and discard for the Kazu effect. Doing the last check. But we still have to close this game out. So we see a Haguru come down. Pitching another Haguru to draw 2. And if I remember correctly, he went ahead and conceded at that point after losing his stack. So we go into game 3, starting things off with a fireball to draw 2. We see Yoko hatch, digivolved into Terriermon. Terriermon and all memory blockers are always a scary thing for Machinedramon. So as soon as you see them, you try to clear them out as soon as possible. We see the Kabuterimon digivolved and then just a hard play of a Palmon. Guilmon's digivolved into the back. And looks like that's a pass. Kabuterimon digivolved up front, so now he has 2 blockers. And then Kuwagamon X played. Looks like he can grab one of the 2 Grandises. Back over to Machinedramon. See Guilmon promoted, swings in, draws 2. He's gonna go ahead and block, trying to avoid the early chip damage, and we see a hero come down. See the second Kabuterimon promoted, digivolved into Okuamon X. No Okuamon, so imperfect stack currently. Into the GrandisKuwaga to pass turn. Always a scary thing when you have that big bug staring at you from across the table. We see Gigimon hatched. And at this point, we Death X for 11 to de-digivolve down and clear everything but the Okuamon X currently. See Yokomon hatched, digivolve into Palmon. we were actually discussing how jamming actually could come up in a few decks, namely Rise Gray, where you have the chance to be DP reduced. But in my deck, the Grandis can generally swing over everything. So we just see another Grand played for 2 memory. It's going to burst out. So security attack +1. Digivolves into the Grandis to suspend. It's going to go ahead and swing over it. Restand, no piercing, gets 1 more check and hits a Kazu. With both Tamers out now, no problem using options at this point. See green memory boost come down. Opting to grab another champion. Kabuterimon Digivolved for 1. Trying to set up another stack in the back in case the current one is dealt with. Digivolved into Metal Kabuterimon, and then a Terriermon played. I remember he said he wasn't sure if this was a good move or not, and I told him it's actually perfect because it prevents Machinedramon from not passing over all of the memory in the world. So I just go ahead and clear it out with Crimson Blaze. Reduced cost, only down to 4. We see the Grandis. Not able to Digiburst and gain security attack anymore, but the green memory boost is popped. Digivolved into an Okwamon. Swing in with a Grandis. Hits another Kazu. Swings in again, hits a Guilmon. Swings in with the Okuamon, and it actually is cleared out. Plays another green memory boost to get some search off, grabbing another Terriermon. We see Attack of the Heavy Immobile Digimon played. That means it's time for Machinedramon. To 9, gaining 5. Swinging over the Grandis. Draw 1, discard. Draw 1, discard. Setting him to only 3 memory, and I believe that is no checks because it doesn't have piercing this time. And yet again, it does have the reboot. Yokomon is hatched. Digivolved into Terriermon. And then into Weedmon. And over to Okuamon. And then the Okuamon is played. We do have the Megadramon under the stack, so if we swing in, we can just pop the rookie. Let's see, Hagurumon played down. Pitching the Chaosdramon to draw 2. Digivolving into a Guardramon. Swinging in over popping the Okuamon. This is 3 checks. Living all 3. And then playing out Kongu to pass the turn. Trying to prevent any raising shenanigans that green likes to do. So he's gonna promote and then crack the memory boost, going up to 4. Digivolving into the GrandisKuwagamon. But does he have the Grandis? He does. He's going to Digivolve into the Grandis there, because it's over the GrandisKuwaga. It does work, but I allowed him to take that back so he can't actually get the Digiburst effect off to gain 1 memory. He's going to suspend the Gardramon, and because it is suspended, even by another effect, I'm able to draw and discard twice with the Kazus. He adds the X antibody, not sure why, but he swings in and unfortunately hits the Gaia Force. He's going to play out a rookie to pass. And then grabs the Grandis once he realized that he wasn't able to grab the Weedmon off that search. So we're going to go into Raising Phase, gain 2, swing in, suspending Kazu to draw and discard. Twice. Unfortunately not able to attack with that Gardramon to close out game. Trying to figure out what to discard here. Checking to see if there's any level 5s in trash. There is not quite one. We do see the attack of the Heavy Mobile and the Machinedramon in play. We're just looking for a level 5. So with Fireball played, draw 2, and that's all that's needed. Attack the Heavy Mobile, pitch the Megadramon, hard play the Machinedramon, and swing for game. Here is the Machinedramon deck list and the GrandisKuwagamon deck list. I'd like to thank everybody for watching, and until next time, I'll see you on the digital plane, playing the Digimon card game.